Welcome to my studio. My current studio is the room I've been living in for over 5.00 years. Today is Wednesday, 15 October 2025. I'm Tanis Coralee of Seattle. This is my studio. It's the room I live in. Yes, for real. All right, and this video is a home studio conceptualization for a second channel, name of Tanis Studio. Yeah, I've been through the second channel conceptualization before and the third channel conceptualization before. It's like, well, let's try it a little bit of a different perspective. So here I, Tanis Coralee of Seattle, reflect on my experience publishing on this channel and talk through a home studio conceptualization for a second channel, name of Tanis Studio, with a formal home studio and the channel serving as a talk show type production. Yes. So I've talked through living with my soulmates and being like, okay, well, I can have my geology and like experimental stuff, and we have like a laboratory at home, lab space and microscopes and stuff like that. And then there's the building of race cars, and then there's the infirmary where we could do like physiology, or I could do physiology / cardiology stuff, and we could treat the animals. So there's the zoology. So what about YouTube? What about this big production? And so I was thinking, I was like, maybe, let's say with my Jared Leto and my Jimmy Fallon, at our house, let's say there's a house, I have a house with each in Woodway, okay, the place I run through. And each of them go, this room, like one room in each house, this is your studio. I'm like, oh, ooh. So I'm gonna do kind of like I've taken and making the space a video-friendly space, which has taken a lot of time and effort and very slow revealing and very slow adjustments and learning how to use the space, but also what's in the room. I get to kind of build the studio as a room, like a formal studio, not like there's a bookcase in the background to make it look semi-busy so people can look away at something else if they want to, that kind of stuff. Like an actual like formal studio, like a talk show studio, only at home. And so I was thinking, so it'd be cool to do something like that. And it could be like, you know, I have the Guten Morgen sessions, which I've deliberately not returned to, even though I could have, where it's kind of like first thing I do in the morning was that, and I do that, but not necessarily with the like Guten Morgen sessions kind of format. But it's like, you know, maybe it's I wake up at some day, or like I wake up at like 2 a.m. on some day, and I check in on Yelp at like 3:15. And I there's a knock at the door at 3:30 a.m. and I go to open it, and it's Bruce Springsteen, and he wants to talk, and he wants to be like he wants to be in a video, and I'm like, I have a studio where we could do that. And you know, and so he just shows up, and so we're like, let's go for it. And so, you know, I film us talking, and then I publish it. You know, maybe if I'm at my Jared's house, I take him, like, I'm working on building a particle physics vehicle, a speedy one. Do you want to go see it? You know, like showing around. And if he comes over and it's I'm at Jimmy Fallon's house, you know, like our house, I guess in each of those, you know, does Jimmy come out in his slippers, and I make them both I make a pot of coffee or individualized cups for each of them. And then is he like, oh, I don't really have any place to stay. So I'm like, okay, are you staying the day? Am I going to take you to the Cheesecake Factory? We're going to go when you can select your slicer. You can let me select your slicer. You can let me pamper you. And he goes, okay. And we go. So the Cheesecake Factory becomes part of the production. And then does a Bruce Springsteen day turn into a Bruce Springsteen week? And he stays for a week. And so we have videos. In other weeks, you know, there might not be anything. It's a Tanis Studio production, and then maybe some like if I go through enough, kind of like with this channel, right? There was a little bit of flurries of activity, and it's stabilized to more consistent performance now. But it allows for growth of a natural manner. and say to have enough technical training to be able to stabilize that in my life, like with my other interests like physiology, like including cardiology and physics and geology and stuff, to actually have enough technical training and basic skill set that I could do that of like in domestic environment, so to speak, and actually do a Tanis Studio. That'd be very cool. As for the naming, it's kind of like TTS, the Tonight Show. TTS, it'd be the initials of Tanis Studio would be Tanis Studio, and I chose that name in this conceptualization because I'm not possessive of it, which I think is good. I'm like, talk shows are kind of like, I kind of view them as like, it's a big production, and I kind of view a production as in some sense kind of meant to be copied, and so I'm like, in that one, it's kind of perfect. It's like the Tonight Show, Tanis Studio, and there you go. Like, is copy all you want, or it's about making it approachable in that sense, and that's a name that I was like, it has that feel for me of like, just let it be the production nature has intends it to be, so to speak. So that's a home studio conceptualization for a second channel, name of Tanis Studio.